bringing in Marcel who works with ESPN. You're an amazing reporter, and this team's trying to negotiate with Tua. I don't quite know what's going on. I'd like it to get done sooner than later. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Kay. And you and me both. I would love to get this done as well because I can't go out to dinner. I can't go hang out with friends. I can't hop on a plane for 2 hours without crippling anxiety that I'm going to miss something or I'm going to have to leave early. So, yeah, the sooner they get it done, the better for me as well.
It's so true. It's all about you, right? It's all about you and me. Like, let's get this over with and get it going. Okay, what are your thoughts on this? Because there's reports that the contract could be less than what Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence just got, which is like, excuse me, the disrespect.
Well, you got to remember what Tua said the last time you spoke to him during mandatory minicamp, which was, and I quote, "The market is the market." You know, we have a market in place for a reason. That's why teams can't just pay you whatever you want. There's a market in place for this exact reason. So, you know, kind of decoding that, he wants his money. And it seems like he and his team at Athletes First, who are known for getting their guys paid, have kind of drawn this line in the sand to say, like, we want at or above market value considering what we have done over the past couple of years. You know, forget the start to his career, those first 3 years. It was just muddled by injuries and instability and, you know, kind of a circus act on the coaching staff, like a carousel on the coaching staff. Ever since Mike McDaniel got here, Tua is top 5 in passing yards, touchdowns, completion percentage, passer rating, yards. He has been a top tier quarterback when he has been introduced to a little continuity. So I think that he deserves to get paid where we're going to see the discrepancy between his contract and like Trevor's and Herbert's is that guaranteed money. The AAV is probably going to be there, that like 55-ish a year. I don't think that's going to be too hard to meet. It's that guaranteed money. Where's the gulf between his total guarantees and his full guarantees, you know, where he's protected against injuries? Because while he did play those 18 games, he played those 18 games, but you can't forget, you know, the hip injuries and the concussions and this and that.
I think it all hinges on the health-based clauses, and guaranteed money is hard to give with the history that he does have. So there's a lot to negotiate and a lot to figure out. But let's just get it done, guys. Let's just get it done. Another Dolphin looking for a deal, Tyreek Hill. Leads the league in receiving last season, a big part of that. We can talk about continuity, but Tyreek's a big part of that. He's currently the 4th highest paid receiver after Justin Jefferson and Amon-Ra St. Brown just got paid. Do you think he and the organization are on the same page? Is there any frustration to be aware about, especially with him looking for more money after just getting paid a couple years ago?
No, I don't think there's any frustration. I think they're pretty much on the same page here. There's a couple different priorities in line right now, namely, you know, Tua and Javon Holland, you know, young core guys whose contracts are running out. But that doesn't mean Tyreek is not a priority. I think we asked him pretty much point blank, hey, do you feel like you should be a top 5 paid receiver for as long as you're in your prime? And he said, of course. And I don't think anybody should deny that. The Dolphins offense goes through Tyreek Hill. You know, a friend of mine on this beat, Chris Perkins, he likes to say, you know, this offense is about 2 things, Tyreek Hill and the threat of Tyreek Hill. So you pay him to keep him happy considering what he's done over the past 2 years. You know, what that money might look like, I don't think he's going to be setting any NFL records. I think they give him some sort of refresher, kind of like what they did with Xavier Howard a few years ago, that puts him more in line with the top paid receivers without making him outright the top guy like they did when they traded for him from the Chiefs.
I want you to tell me why this is the Dolphins' division to lose.
I mean, on paper, they're the most talented division. They're the most talented team, right? Okay, you know, they've got the second best quarterback, I think, behind Josh Allen. Until I see Aaron Rodgers, I'm not pounding the table for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. You know, the Jets they always just Jets somehow, one way or another. So I'm just kind of waiting for that to happen. But, okay, I've been covering this division now for 5 years. I have to say, until I see Miami beat Buffalo in a game that matters, I can't say this is their division to lose. I've seen it time and time again where they should win. They're favored to win. They're this, they're that. They have the momentum. And there's just something, there's a mental block about beating the neighborhood bully that they have not gotten over yet. So until I see that happen, I cannot count the Bills out.
It's really great, a perfectly eloquently put point that you got to take out the big dog, even if the big dog doesn't have Stephon Diggs, and they look weaker than ever. I feel like in the Josh Allen tenure, but we'll see how it plays out. It's interesting. Like, are you sort of saying that Tua is going to bet on himself this year if they don't meet the market value? Is that just to get that right?
Yeah, I mean, there's not going to be anything extreme. Like he's not going to hold out or sit out of the season or anything crazy. I think he's too much of a team player to do that. Too much of a leader on this team to do that. And ultimately there's no like rush, right, for the Dolphins to get something done. For the kumbaya of the locker room, for the feng shui of the locker room. Yeah, you want to do this sooner rather than later. But he does still have that last year of his rookie deal. They can still franchise in 2 years. If it can drag out. I don't think it gets to that. I think something gets done before the regular season starts.
Hamilton is texting me saying, and I mean, we just popped him on screen. What did you want to say, Hamilton, about Tua? Is he around?
Yeah, I feel like he could go full 2012 Flacco here.
What do you think?
I mean, look, we got such a weird message from Mike McDaniel about, the first part of their offseason program. Like sometimes he was there, sometimes he wasn't. There was a day he wasn't there to go play in Nick Saban's charity golf tournament. So he did. That was contract related. It's not that he just doesn't think he needed to be there. It was contract related. Yeah. He didn't participate in team drills during mandatory minicamp. Like there obviously is a little bit of static there. There's a little bit of frustration and angst, as he put it. But I don't think it's going to get to a point where he bails on the team or he does anything to hurt them in the long run. That's just not really his personality.
It's not who he is. Tell me about the personality of Zach Schwartz. Can you give me a little something before you leave?
Oh man, Zach Schwartz. I mean, you could not have made a better hire. Like this is the actual.
What do I need to know?
Man.
Is he like comparing him to Tua? How would you characterize Zach?
I think Zach honestly would be terrified to hold out in fear of being traded or fired. You don't have to worry about Zach holding out. Zach will come up. He will pull up. He will do his job. He will ask to get paid. He'll whisper in. If you say no, he'll be like, okay, well, I'm going to go to work anyways. But I'm just kidding, Zach. I love you, man. You deserve every dollar you get. He's been one of my good friends since 2011, man. Like
That's
it's crazy
awesome.
that we could say 15, 13, 14
Crazy.
years. Now we're just that old. But yeah, man, getting married later this month. Proud of him. Happy for him and Rachel. That's right. We cheer for that. We cheer for love here. Okay?
We cheer for love. Marcel Louis-Jacques, my new best friend, covering all things Dolphins for ESPN. Congrats on all the success. Thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for making time, and please come back, okay?
Of course. Thanks
and
for
next time
having me
we'll
on.
have Zach out here to be able to defend himself.
Please, you have to.
Although you
You
said
have
nothing
to.
bad about him, it was just so lovely.